What's shaking, nerds? Welcome back to another tutorial video, and today we're going to be talking about all the keys that you're going to need right when wipe hits. So we're going to separate this into two categories. The first category is just all around great keys to try to find, and the second category is quest keys that you're going to need because I guarantee you those quests are just around the corner. In this video, I'm not only going to show you where to find these keys, but I'm also going to show you the rooms where these keys go and what's inside them. Before we go in depth on where these keys spawn, I do want to let you know that after you kill just a regular scav, always be searching the pockets and bags of them. They do have a chance to spawn every pretty much key on them. And yes, it's super rare, but why not check, right? And also all around the world, you'll find these jackets just hanging up. They have a great chance actually of just spawning random keys. And yes, as you can see from this list, some of them are really rare and really hard to get in jackets, but there's still a chance, and there's tons of these jackets all around Tarkov, so always be searching them. But let's deep dive into the all-around good keys that if you find these at the beginning of the wipe, you have a leg up on the competition. And I'm not talking about the good rooms that have a LEDX in them or, a lion or something high value. I'm talking about rooms that have a lot of depth to them. So they might have a lot of guns that spawn in them, also ammo, also maybe grenades, and there's meds in there. So it's really high depth rooms that I'm looking at. The first key we're going to talk about is military base checkpoint key. It's used on customs, and like it sounds, you're going to be using it at the military base checkpoint. It's right in front of scav checkpoint. There's usually a sniper scav on the second floor of this, but on the ground floor, there's a door there. If you open up the door with the key, you're going to find one weapon rack, one grenade box, and two wooden ammo boxes. The key does also spawn on customs. You're going to be going to the boiler building on the east side of the map. And when you get inside of this boiler building, you're going to see a dead scav on the couch. And in front of the dead scav on the couch is where the key location is. It's not on him, but it's just in front of him. One of the most useful keys in this game doesn't even open up a room that has loot in it. We're talking about factory exit key here. So not only does factory exit key give you 2 additional extracts on factory and also a locked room in the office of factory, but it gives you the shortcut in the guard building of the crane yard next to the gas station. And why is this so important? Well, instead of jumping, say, one of the cars to get to the west side of customs, or instead of taking this guard shack, you have to go all the way around to the east side of the map and go through the hole in the wall. This key is extremely useful, one of the best keys to find early, and luckily enough, this wipe I did. There's 2 spawns on customs for factory exit key. The first one is again in the boiler building. You're gonna go inside and you're gonna see a blue locker, and inside of the blue locker on the second last shelf is where the factory exit key will spawn. The second location for factory exit key is again on customs. You have to go to the 3-story dorm, and when you go into the first floor of it, there's a guard desk on your left. Now, when you go into that room, you're going to see a broken TV, and next to that broken TV is where the other spawn for this key is. We're going to change maps now and go to Shoreline, and where we're going to be going is to the 3rd floor of the health resort in the east wing, and we're going to be looking at room 306 and 308. So when you make your way up to the 3rd floor of health resort, you're going to see room 308 on your left, and in 308 is one weapon rack, one weapon spawn, one med case, and some loose loot in there. But 306 is actually even better. So go to 306, you're going to find a DVL-10 spawn, a possible LEDX, which I haven't seen, I haven't confirmed this, but apparently there's one in there. You have 4 PC blocks in there, you got 1 weapon box, you got a chance for a rare spawn, a backpack spawn, and loose loot. So now let's look at the spawn location for both of the keys. The first one that we're going to be looking at is East Wing 306 key. This is actually a really difficult key to grab, because what you need to do is you need to go to the big red customs office, and you actually need customs key to even get into there, and then you need to go into the director's office itself, and on his desk is where the key spawns. So I know at the beginning of a wipe it is really hard to get the customs office key, but you do need it for a task, so if you're there, you might as well look for it. If you're wanting to get the spawn of 308, you have to go to Woods, And in the lumber camp itself, in the heart of the beast, there's 3 cabins. And in the number 1 cabin is where there's a nightstand, and on top of the nightstand is where this key spawns. I don't know if I told you guys this, but you only need 1 key. You either need 306 or 308. They're both connected. I'm not sure if I said that earlier, but just keep that in mind. If you have 306, don't worry about 308 because they're both connected. The reserve base is one of the newest maps in the game. And to be honest, it has some of the best rooms early game or late game. And the first room we're going to be looking at going into is RB ORB1. This is on the 4th floor of White Pawn. And once you get into the room itself, you're going to notice a lot of weapon racks. There's actually 3 weapon racks in there, so a bunch of guns can spawn there. There's a bunch of loose loot, and there's 2 filing cabinets you can loot also. To find this key spawn, you need to go to reserve again, and you're going to need to go to the underground tunnels, which could be located through either going to White Pawn again in the basement of there, or you can go to the dome and there's a little shack there. You just go into it and then you go down the stairs. Once you get into the tunnels itself, you're going to see a shower room, and you're going to go into there, and on the wall is this blue key rack thing, and on that key rack is where RB ORB1 will spawn. We're going to continue with reserve keys right now, so we're also going to be looking at RB ORB3. This key is just like ORB1, it's just in a different location on the map. So instead of going to White Pawn, this time you're going to go to Black Pawn. You're going to want to go up to the 2nd floor. And once you reach the 2nd floor, it's almost identical. And actually it is identical to ORB1. You're going to find yourself with 3 weapon racks in there, loose loot, and 2 filing cabinets that you can also loot. The spawn location for this key is actually on customs. So what you want to do is you want to look at the west side of the map. And before you take the land bridge, there's a graffitied out Humvee that has the spawn on it. So what you're going to want to do is you want to go to the corner right near where there's the ice cream shop, and just before land bridge, you're going to see this graffitied out Humvee, and on the passenger seat is where you're going to find the spawn for this key. Also, just a heads up, if you kill Killa, he does have a chance for this to be in his pockets. The last key on reserve I want to talk about is RBAO. A lot of you might know the lock location because it's the same building that Marked Room's in. So it's in the K buildings in the bottom right here. But what you might not know is in the same building where there's Marked Room, there's another locked room, and that's RBAO. Inside of it, you can find 5 weapon racks. That's so good when you're just starting the wipe. And also there's a bunch of loose loot, so there's a bunch of weapon mods just all over the tables. This is a fantastic room if you can grab the key early. If you're looking for the spawn location of it, it's actually on Shoreline. You're gonna have to go to the bunker north of the health resort, and on the bed to the right of the pillow right here is where you're gonna find the key spawn. I've looked many times, I've never found it, but I've heard that it is actually there. So just keep looking, that's all that matters. The last keys that I'd recommend for the all-around good keys on early wipe is another set of keys for Shoreline. So it's room 222 and 226 of East Wing. These also do lead into each other, so if you find either 226 or 222, you can go through the balcony and go to the opposite room. So when we unlock room 222, what you're going to find in there is 1 weapon box, 1 weapon rack, a grenade box, a toolbox. You're also going to find a rare spawn in the cardboard box in the bathroom, and also there's 3 weapon spawn chances. Now, if you say you go around to 226 now and you open up 226, what you're going to find in there is 1 weapon box. There's a gun locker on the balcony. You have a chance for a LEDX, MP 153 shotgun, and there's a bunch of loose loot all over the room. The spawn for these keys are on Shoreline. The first one we're going to talk about is 222 East Wing. This spawns on Power Station. And make sure when you get here, you kill, the sniper scab on the roof, and you also kill a couple of littered other scavs around there. Once you do kill them, you're going to go into power station, you're going to hang a left, and you're going to see a chair in one of the rooms, and just on that chair is where the key can spawn. I've picked this key up probably 2 or 3 times now. It's not an easy spawn, but it's definitely there. Now 226 is again on the Shoreline. You can get it from the East Wing. What you're gonna have to do is go into East Wing. You're gonna go into the 2nd floor, and in the janitor closet on 2nd floor is a key rack, and just inside the key rack, you're gonna see where it just hangs there and spawns. At the end here, I do want to talk about some bonus keys. So these keys don't have a hard spawn or anything, but they are amazing keys to find early on. So if you're always killing scavs, make sure you're checking the pockets and bags, and also while you're searching just jackets lying around the world, you can find these keys. The first set of keys I want to talk about is the marked room key. So there's marked room, this one's for customs, there's RBVO and RBBK, which is for reserve. Inside of these rooms, you can find anything from weapon cases to money cases to grenade cases, key tools, dock case. You can find some really big ticket, high value items. And now with the flea market being only find in raid, if you get these keys early and you can find some of these big ticket items that you can just be without, you're gonna make a lot of money really fast. And speaking of reserve, the RBMP22 key is amazing, but it doesn't again have a hard spawn. But inside the room, it does have 2 weapon racks, 1 wooden ammo box, 1 toolbox, a possible military battery, and a bunch of loose loot. The next key is the RBST key. It's also for a reserve, and I think it's maybe one of the best keys if you could get it early on. Because inside the room, there's 1 weapon box that's a 5x5, 1 weapon box that's a 5x2, another weapon box that's a 6x3, 2 grenade boxes, there's a bunch of loose loot, another military battery spawn, there's those shells, those OFZ shells that spawn in there, and you have a quest for it, and it's so far hard to find them around reserve, but guess what? There's 3 chances of getting them to spawn in this room. Also 1 phased array, 1 military gyro, I don't even know how to say that, and then 1 military cable spawn. This room might be the ultimate early all-around good key. So if you do find it, I'd say keep it. You know, you could throw it on the flea market and get a few million for sure, but I think the stuff you'll bring out of there is going to be way more value to you. Now, we talked about all around the best keys to try to find early, but what about the quest keys? Like the quests that are just around the corner when you start Tarkov that you're going to need very soon rather than later. Well, I've got a list of those ones, and we're going to first start with the machinery key. The machinery key is used for a prepper quest called checking. It's where you have to get the golden pocket watch, and what you're going to do is you have to go to the customs map. You're going to have to go to the 3-story dorm. And on the 2nd floor, if you go into room 205, there's a brown jacket hanging up on the wall. You search that, and you have a 99% chance of getting not only 1, but maybe even 2. Another quest from Prapper where you're going to need a key sooner than later is Portable Cabin Key of Customs Factory Zone. Now, this is a really difficult key, and I would highly recommend you do try to just get it from killing scavs or just jackets on walls. But if you do perchance have the factory exit key, you can unlock a room in factory, and it's just below a jacket in the room there. That's the issue though, is to even get this key, you need another super rare key, and that's factory exit key. So if you by chance do have the key, try to keep running this over and over. But if you don't have it, just try to kill a bunch of scavs. Now we're going to look at a key that Skier needs for the extortionist. This is actually a really unique key. So it actually always spawns on the dead body before you hit the L shape that goes into construction in customs. Now, the thing about this key is it does spawn every raid, but if someone beats you to the dead body that's in the bushes, well, it's gone, and you just have to reload and try to beat someone else to it. So it is very dependent on your spawn, and especially early wipe, everyone's looking for this key. So you might just have to run customs a few times to grab it. Most of the time, I'm going to tell you you're going to be lucky enough to just grab it first try, but it is on a dead body in the bush, and he does sometimes have a couple of other goodies on him. Now, the other keys that I'd highly recommend for Now the bonus keys for this section are as follows. So it's dorm room 206 and dorm room 203. You need both these keys for tasks, but the thing with these keys are they're fairly common to find them on scavs or just in jackets. So I wouldn't sweat too hard, but when you do find them, just know not to sell them. You do need them for a task. The last key is customs office key. Now this is a key you're needing fairly early on, and there's no hard spawn for it. So it's just luck of the draw. Did you kill the right scav? Did you search the right jacket? I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be sucking some toes just to get this key if you just can't find it, or you're gonna be paying millions of rubles on the flea market, because again, the flea market's only find in raid. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I put a lot of time and effort into it. And hey, I might have missed a key that you think is super important. And if you do, put it in the comments below. What key do you think I missed that you're gonna be going after right away? Thank you, nerds, so much for watching the video. If you liked it, think about hitting the thumbs up button. Think about subscribing to the channel. Also, I do stream 5 days a week on twitch.tv. If you have questions or you just want to come by and tell me, hey, I think this key is going to be the best key, come by, tell me, we'll talk about it. So until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.